Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno-monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Thursday the 17th of the 6th, 2021. Time is 0440 GMT, Asian session coming to a close, European session firing up, and our lunchtime North American session. Right, yesterday then, Wednesday the 16th, Fed day, we had a positive opposed driver in the dollar, plus 289. Front and back door flows, mainly coming out the euro at minus 242, out the pound at minus 71, and the yen was the positive rock at plus 24. Activity plus or minus 313. Intra-week then, this is from Monday the 14th, open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive unopposed driver in the dollar at plus 314. No backdoor flows, the opposing negative flows mainly coming out the euro at minus 127, out the yen at minus 115, and the pound was the negative rock at minus 72. Activity plus or minus 314. Intraday, this is the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative unopposed driver in the dollar at minus 19. No backdoor flows, the opposing positive flows mainly going into the pound at plus 9, into the yen at plus 7, and the euro was the positive rock at plus 3. Activity plus or minus 19. So you see we're getting a reversal out from these big larger flows so far in the Asian session. Right, get rid of that. That's what's been happening in the asset classes. Well, and what's been happening with trade. Well, our trades obviously being short the dollar. Obviously we came off a little bit yesterday. We're 3,000 points approximately in profit at the moment from a peak of 6,500. But we have actually got our AUD positions back up to full strength. So we'll talk about that in a bit anyway. So Euro is soft, except against the dollar, the yen and the CAD, which are softer. The yen is weak, except against the dollar and the CAD. The pound is strong, except against the AUD, the NZD and the Swiss. The Swiss, which has got its rates decision today, is strong except against the AUD and the NZD. The CAD is weak except against the dollar. The AUD is strong except against the NZD. The NZD is strong across the board, and the dollar is weak across the board. Right, so what have we got? We've got New Zealand strength, dollar weakness across the board. Take your pick in the middle. Right, okay, what's going to knock it about? What's been knocking about? Yesterday, Wednesday the 16th, late on, we had the New Zealand GDP, which came in pretty positive. Today, we've had the AUD employment change and employment rate change, again very positive. And we've got the later today or this morning, we've got the Swiss rates decision. Now tomorrow, Friday the 18th, we've got the Bank of Japan rates decision and the GBP retail sales data, which is a tier 2 event. So it's starting to get a bit lighter once we get these two rates decisions out of the way, the Swiss franc and the Bank of Japan. Then with pretty light data running into the weekend. Right, let's have a look at the asset classes. So basically the Fed decided to show it cares about inflation when we really know it doesn't. This is just a bit of a sham, and this is a noise driven market now, off the back of this this Fed situation. Right, so let's have a look at the US dollar index. So the US dollar index basically it's bounced and come off slightly. It's 91.31 approximately. Gold quite clearly isn't going to like a strong dollar, and so gold came off and it's 0.45 from the high. So gold got hammered. Oil, if you remember, had this big pump up and it's just come off slightly. Nothing to write home about. Wall Street, Wall Street basically has come off. Well, it never broke, and it's come off its highs. It's 0.40 from the high. S&P did break, and it's now below the break. It's 0.22 from the high. So equities basically didn't like the Fed. The tech broke, and likewise it's below 0.20 from the high. So US equities said no thank you to the Fed's comments on interest rates. US 10-year, obviously that's a bit like ants. They have to do whatever the market says in the short term. So the US 10-year, if you remember, the price went right up as yields came off, and now we're right back at the lows. And the bund, where's the bund there? So the bund, just to show willing, is 0.45 from the high. So relatively speaking, US yields outpunching European yields at the moment. So hence you've got this this dollar strength, or did have. Right. So what else have we got? We've got copper. Copper has actually come up a bit, although you wouldn't think so. It's 0.33 from the floor. It's come up a bit from its very lows, but it's still very soft. And US steel basically is 0.36 from the high. So they're both soft. Right. So let's just finish up and have a talk about what's going on. We added to our AUD NZD longs, and that pair is particularly a good example of asymmetric responses to data. You've had positive NZD data and you've had very positive AUD data, yet the AUD is relatively soft. Right, so we've got short USD against the euro, the pound and the AUD. Obviously they got a good pasting yesterday off the back of the Fed. Now we're short NZD against the euro, the pound, the CAD and the AUD. Right, so and likewise, so the NZD was the sort of go-to commodity currency yet again, but we think it's cooked. So right, so just to sum up then, the Fed sort of tried to make noises that it cares about inflation when really it doesn't. It needs inflation to keep the show on the road. Once the market settles down and the dust settles, as we said, basically you're going to find that the dollar comes off again, and it's business as usual, shorting the dollar, and the AUD is undervalued relative to the NZD and other currencies. So we're long that situation. So the good news is that we've got our full position back on the AUD NZD. So AUD long against the NZD. And the bad news is in the short term, obviously our trades have come back a bit. So we're about just under half of our peak now. 6,500 peak, 3,000 roughly profit at the moment. So I hope that was useful. See you again tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thank you very much.